Hi there, this is Alan English, actor, writer and autism trainer with another autism tutorial, this one on romantic love and fantasy. Now, dealing with romantic desires can be a serious problem for autistic people, especially when it comes to managing and expressing these emotions in a socially appropriate way. It's a problem that can affect us at any age, whatever our gender or sexual orientation. Now, right from the beginning of my life, I had problems controlling my romantic impulses. At the age of 5, I was pulled before my infant head teacher for chasing a girl I fancied all around the playground. It didn't matter how much I liked her, she didn't want to know. Now, her mum was in the infant head teacher's office when I was pulled up in front of the infant head teacher, and she was unusually sympathetic to me, and she kept telling her daughter, "Look, this little boy, he's only trying to be friendly." Our daughter, of course, didn't see it that way. If this was a one-off incident, it would have been easy to forget about it, but it was the first in a long line of similar instances that littered my childhood. I've no doubt now that my behaviour was creepy and disgusting to all those girls I was attracted to. Frustrated by rejection, I retreated into solitude and fantasy, fueled by movies and romantic pop music. When I became a teenager, this got worse. For years, my bedroom walls were plastered in pornographic images. I kept conjuring up improbable romantic fictions involving schoolmates, celebrities, and even a cousin. Outside of my room, I became a right pest to many girls as a teenager, hounding them constantly, writing them notes, hanging around outside their houses, and making unwanted advances towards them. I was convinced I had to do something, anything about my feelings, and that this, in and of itself, was not doing any harm. My mother kept telling me to play it cool, but listening to this advice was maddening when the feelings I had were so strong. Of course, when the girls rejected me or failed to live up to my fantasies, I got angry and spiteful. When autistic people have these sorts of feelings, particularly as adolescents, they can assume an imposing intensity when expressed by the autistic person, which can be frightening for the targets of such feelings. I failed to recognise that behaviour that seemed friendly to me came across as threatening to others. At parties, it would get ridiculous. I would be hugging, kissing, and feeling up every pretty young woman I could find. Rejection and the lack of real success with women still hovered over my every step. It was not uncommon for me to go out at night and see the skin practically crawl off women at the mere sight of me. I had a friend who was much more successful with women than I was, and had a technique of attracting women that was baffling and mysterious. I later came to worship and fetishize his womanizing skills on an online message board. This was before the age of Facebook. He found out about this and he asked me to stop. He was right. It was a disgusting way to wallow in my own envy and impotence. Now, when I moved to London, I gradually learned to grow up and control my behaviour. It helped enormously that I found a support network in London that did not really exist for me in Aberdeen outside my parents. So when I did find myself under the spell of yet another romantic fixation, this time a West End actress, I was able to access and talk to a psychiatrist who helped me through my feelings and helped me to keep them under control. Now, the rise of the internet has made these problems for autistics much harder, especially for the younger generation who have never known life without it. Now, the internet can allow people to connect and organise their social lives in ways that were not possible before. However, it has made behaviour such as stalking, voyeurism and dependence on pornography all the easier to engage in, as access to people and pornographic images is so instant and immediate. For autistic people, habits and behaviours, even negative ones, can be very difficult to change, so this is significant. Trying to adapt to this environment and stay socially appropriate within it. Now, romantic lust and fantasy are at their core natural impulses, but they can become a serious problem if they get out of control. Repeated romantic rejection, Loneliness and reliance on pornography and other forms of sexual escapism can trigger serious and long-term emotional and mental health problems in many people, but particularly autistic people. It is something that we autistics need support with a lot of the time in our lives.